Jerry, thanks for having me.
You know, when you're analyzing any program, it's really important that you think about your yardstick for success. How are you measuring success? And in this case, it's hilarious. They're measuring their ability to spend money. That's it. How fast did we get the money out the door? Is that the way to measure the success of the stimulus program?
Well, no, it's not. And the president said it wasn't. He said the stimulus would jumpstart the economy and restore consumer confidence. Well, it is 18 months now after the spending spree began, and the economy's lost 2/3 of its growth since the beginning of the year. 3 million fewer people are working now than before the stimulus, and consumer confidence is at an 18th month low. It's lower than when the stimulus began. So I would say by any measurement of the president's, it's a failing grade.
Well, I think one of the yardsticks that you brought up, unemployment, is probably the right one. We were promised unemployment that would be 8% or lower. What we have is 9.6%, which is clearly unacceptable. Can stimulus cure the unemployment problem?
No, it can't. And Jerry, you reminded viewers, I recall here, that Christine Romer, the head of the president's Economic Advisory Council, not only famously predicted a lower unemployment rate, but she said that by the end of the year, 137 million Americans would be working. There's 7 million jobs short of that, and that 90% of the new jobs from the stimulus would come in the private sector. Well, just the opposite's occurred. In fact, the only area that's grown is the federal government workers. We've actually lost more than 3 million jobs along Main Street. So every measurement that the White House put out, they failed to meet.
Well, you know, I think everybody's sort of confounded by this report. It's almost funny. It's so out of touch with the way people feel about this spending. What needs to be done here? What are the next steps to take? I mean, clearly we could have some changes in November with the midterm election. Congress may change hands, one or both of the houses. What needs to be done?
You know, I think sincerely the White House doesn't know how to create jobs. And I think one of the reasons they've lashed out at the business community in America is they just don't understand why more spending doesn't create more jobs. And the truth of the matter is, consumers have lost a lot of confidence from housing, from the spending and the dangerous deficits. They've lost confidence in the president to handle the economy. And then businesses, as you know, truly are concerned and hesitant because of all the fiscal policy coming out of Washington, D.C.
Right.
Washington is now the biggest obstacle to the recovery, and the White House just doesn't grasp that.
Well, you know, I'd love to say that I believe that the Republicans would do all the right things, but we're facing some pretty high hurdles here. We have $14 trillion in debt, $1.4 billion budget deficit. You know these numbers. You see them every day. And I think I'm worried that the talk coming from the Republicans is just happy talk. Oh, we'll take care of it. Should I have confidence that the Republicans can do something about it?
You can have confidence that Republicans are going to change the course of Congress, and it won't be easy to get the economy back on track or get this horrible budget under control. But I think voters are looking for truth tellers, and the Republicans are going to take the tax increases off the table, attempt to restore consumer confidence that we're going to get this spending under control, and we're going to make some changes in the way Congress operates so the public can have more confidence in their own lawmakers. That won't change everything, but it's going to be a big change from where we're headed right now.
Well, we've got a long way to go, and anything could happen. Congressman, you'll have to come back and talk to us about it more. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right. Remember this? Before we knew it, the Dow dropped over 900 points on May 6th.